What's up guys, C213 here, and in today's video we're going to be taking a look at the Qinizx battery adapter that's going to allow you to breathe new life into those Craftsman C3 tools. No longer will your dead tool platform tools be rendered useless when those batteries fail. Now, you'll be able to put in that adapter, slide in a Makita battery, and keep working like you were before. Alright guys, so what we got here is the Qinizx. I have no idea how you're supposed to pronounce that, but this is a battery adapter that will take a Makita battery and adapt it for use in your old school, I say old school because they're no longer made, but the Craftsman C3 19.2 volt power tools. Now, this might be somewhat of a niche product because I'm not sure a lot of people still use the Craftsman C3 tools. I happen to have a few that I still really like, including the heavy duty half-inch impact that I use all the time when working on cars. And the reality is, while my batteries are still good, eventually I will run into issues. Now, yes, I can rebuild those packs and, spot weld in new cells and all that stuff, but eventually those are going to fail too. So having the ability to just use one type of battery system, the Makita, while still being able to use my older Craftsman C3 tools is definitely a godsend. Now, as always, I'll leave the link for this in the description below if you want to check it out. When I picked it up, at the time I picked it up, it was about $16, $17. But as always, check that link below for the most up-to-date pricing. Now, let's get into it. There's not a lot to the box. All I did was remove the tape, but that's pretty much it. Comes in here. There's your adapter. And there's a little bit of an instruction manual at the bottom. And you can see here, okay, this is not even relevant. Look at that, guys. Instruction manual of tool battery chargers. This isn't even relevant to this because if you look right on the label, right on the adapter itself, warning, cannot be used for battery charging. So this is only to power the tool. This is not meant to allow you to recharge Makita batteries in the Craftsman C3 chargers. So that's all it does. So let's take a quick look around here before we test it out. So the construction's not bad. These are the retention tabs on the Craftsman C3 tools, which was a little bit of a weak point on the design, but that's more to do with the Craftsman design choices and nothing to do with the adapter. Now, feeling these, the springs are nice and tight, so this doesn't seem like it's going to vibrate out. If we look at these contacts right here, nice and solid. I don't feel any play. They're not super weak, which is good because you don't want these bending. Same for these battery tabs on the bottom. These contacts seem nice and solid. 4 screws hold it together. Let's go ahead and check for glass fiber on this. Guys, I feel a little bit of crunchiness there. I'm going to try on this section, see if you guys can hear it. Yeah, this does have glass fiber in it, so this is actually reinforced plastic, which is pretty nice to see. I was kind of expecting some cheap ABS, but that's why this thing feels really nice and solid. So I would say external build pretty good. We could take a look real quick inside, see what it looks like. Let's just go ahead and pull it apart. All right, these screws are a little too deep, so I had to get a separate screwdriver for this. All right, now let's pop this thing open and see what our internal build looks like. So there we go. We can see our connections are soldered directly to those contacts. And then these are held in directly with screws right into the actual plastic. So they're held in there. Now this is allowed to move a little bit, as you can see there. But again, if we look at our contacts up here, soldered directly onto the contacts, and that solder job does not look half bad. Certainly a generous amount of solder on there, so I'm not super worried about issues related to that. And if we look at our spring-loaded retention mechanism on either side there, you can see the spring steel there, and same on the other side. I'm not worried about those failing either. So overall, I'm pretty impressed with the construction of this thing. I don't really see any weak points in the design, which is great to see. And let's just put it back together and we'll do a little bit of testing. But, you know, there's not a lot to it, so pretty much as long as it works, I think we should be fine. All right, now let's test it out. Now, if you guys are familiar with the C3 platform, you know that these are what the batteries look like. Now, this is the largest battery they ever made in terms of capacity and output. It's the XCP 4 amp hour cell. You can see this one's fully charged. So just to give you a little idea, here is a C3 heavy duty impact at a 1/2 inch. We'll go ahead and fit it on there. Right, so obviously it works. The big advantage with the C3 platform, and something that I haven't seen any other brand actually do. So obviously you can check the battery up here, but you'll see also the tools have a translucent area in the grip as well. So even if you're not looking at the front or the back where the Makita has the battery gauge, you can still see the battery level indicated by the light color here in the grip of the tool. And I actually thought that was a pretty neat feature, but unfortunately with an adapter you're not going to get that. So let's try it out. So you can see the adapter fits in there. There is going to be a little bit of a gap, as you can see. And let's try our Makita battery here. It's a little stiff. There we go. This one has about 3 out of 4. Seems to work just fine. Obviously, you know, no indicator there, but you can still use the one in the back. And let's see this test, see if it falls over. Actually, besides looking a little janky, it's still pretty stable in terms of sitting flat. It doesn't feel like it's going to tip over any particular way, so that's good. And then when you're done, you can still remove it either by pulling the Makita off and then pulling the adapter, or if you want to keep them stuck together, you can pull the entire battery off. Now, my hands are a little bit smaller, so it's a little bit of a big ask to get all the way around both the battery and the adapter. But if you have bigger hands, it's doable. Otherwise, you can just come around the front like that. But I didn't just want to test that. I also want to test a lower draw device to see if it'll work. And here we have the C3 work light. I've modded this one with the replacement LED as opposed to the incandescent, so the runtime on this is a lot longer. All right, let's put the adapter in first. Fits just fine. Again, neither one of them had any issues with the adapter fitting in, locking in place. Let's lock in the Makita battery and turn it on. It works great. You can see it's not rattling loose. There's no poor contact. It's a consistent, good connection. And again, doesn't tip over. Quite a stable platform, even if it looks a little bit ridiculous. But anyway, this will let you breathe new life into those tools that are from a platform that you thought was long dead. So I can't really complain. You know, this thing is not that expensive, and arguably you only need one of them, but if you wanted to have one to fit in every single one of your old tools too, it wouldn't necessarily break the bank, especially if these are tools that you really, really want to use. And your existing batteries are either completely dead or on their way out. So overall, guys, I'm pretty impressed with the Qinizx battery adapter. You know, there's not a lot of battery adapters on the market for your C3 tools. Most of them are going to be for, you know, Makita to DeWalt, or DeWalt to Makita, or DeWalt to Milwaukee, or any of your bigger, more popular existing brands. But any of your sort of extinct brands, especially ones that are a little bit more niche, like the Craftsman C3, you're not really going to find. So it is nice seeing something like this that's still economically priced. So if you're interested in checking it out, as always, I'll leave a link in the description below. That's also the best place to find the most up-to-date pricing. But if you like the video, be sure to give it a like. If you have any questions, comments, or your own experiences with the Qinizx adapter, and you have good, bad, or neutral things to say about it, for sure leave that in the comments below. And as always, if you want to see more, don't forget to hit subscribe.